can act as hall monitor if need be.
Good evening, Keepers of the Cash. Gary B, the casual comic guy here, and I'm not the fucking host tonight. It's something different. So we're going off the cards. All these guys are the host. I am the guest. So we got, of course, as I do every Thursday, we got Digger Jim. Jim, how you doing, buddy?
I'm ready to go.
And my other Thursday kind of regular, we have Mr. Chuck Hensey.
Good evening, everyone.
And we have two gentlemen here who were the brainchild of this evening's event, and that is John's Comics with Kids and Cliff on Comics. Good evening, gents.
Hello.
Jim has really started regretting this decision. I did even in the last, it was just really, folks, like 120 seconds ago, he was in a different mindset.
Yeah,
it's all shifted here.
Oh, Lord. We're going to go say hi to the crowd real quick, and then we're going to come back, and I guess you guys have some questions for me. We'll get right to it. And first thing we're going to have to do is mute Cliff for the episode. And all right, let's start.
Do you need me to take my shirt off? Just tell me when.
Right. All right, first in, not as always, Cliff beat him in today. We have Cliff, our illustrious one of our hosts tonight. First in, beating Las Cruces, which is just rude, by the way. You're supposed to wait till Las Cruces comments, and then you're allowed to enter the comments.
Absolutely not. I deserve one once in a while. Just one.
It's just bad form. All right, Jerry the Jitterbug, one of my all-time favorite people. How you doing tonight, Jerry? Mr. Shot for Comics. Good evening, sir. How you doing? Let me see. We also have Paul from Psychedelic Comics. Good evening, Paul. We have Ruby G, White Tiger, Calm, Cool, Collected. Go check him out on his Instagram for your own art commissions from him. He's doing great work over there. We also have another one of my favorite people, Joe, Anachronic Comics. We have Brad Wellbore from over in Canada. Good evening, Brad. Nice to see you. Nice to see you as well, Joe. We have Terrific Comics and Pop Culture, our very own Chuck Hensey tuning in there. We have Dismay Comics. Good evening, Brandon. Nice to see you. We have Kevin. Nice to see you back in the mix, Kevin. We missed you, buddy. Good to see you back and enjoying life again. And we're going to keep doing quick little tip of the hat to people as they come in and they're getting their notifications. Yeah, exactly. Sorry, guys. I was reading the private chat. Oh goodness! But we're just gonna jump right into this thing, and I guess the question's gonna be is who's got the first question?
I have one.
What a surprise, Cliff! Go ahead.
Aren't you supposed to make your screen bigger?
You have to embiggen yourself and put us on the side over here.
All right, there we go.
Who's running this show?
Some clown.
And get rid of the thing so we can see everybody.
I can't wait. It's got to be. Look at that. Look at my beautiful smile. Okay. All right. So, what was your first comic book with boobies in it? What was the first time you picked up a comic book and be like, "Oh my god, those are bare titties"?
Oh, that was Savage Sword of Conan.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, I would.
You know the issue number?
I almost knew that was gonna happen.
No, but I that was definitely like, oh, I want to collect this.
Yeah, I would think so.
And he's been saying that ever since. Anyways,
I need every issue.
First impressions, right?
That's right. Absolutely.
He had those John Buscema boobies, so it wasn't a bad thing.
No, listen, that man loved a good boobie. He truly did.
It's fair.
You know?
Right. I agree, Joe. He liked his Sophia Loren women. He drew a lot of his women like Sophia Loren.
Okay, but he was just kept drawing Sophia Loren. He just gave her a different face each time.
Little bit, but all right. Next question.
If you were going to show Conan one movie, What are you showing Conan? What's the movie you're gonna sit down and show him?
Oh, Conan the Barbarian. If I'm going to show him one movie,
Yeah. You're introduced, he's in the Savage Avengers now. He's in our world. You're like, hey, you've never seen a movie. Let me show you.
there's
this.
only one answer to that. It's John Carpenter's The Thing.
I knew it.
He's
You would
gonna run up
scare
to
the man. The man
He's
would
gonna
be
run up
like,
to the Antarctic and start a fight.
He wouldn't. Conan would just take out his son. Like, all right, we have to go there and kill all that.
he would be like, what is this? That's what I don't understand with Conan being in the, like, I don't know, the whole setup there.
Paul, I've been into comics on and off since I was a little kid, man. I just was Brave and the Bold, Spider-Man, Marvel Team Up, Marvel 2-in-1, Conan the Barbarian. All that stuff got me into comics. One of the first stories I remember reading clearly was the Conan issue 100, where with Belit's death, which led me down the Robert E. Howard route. But one of my favorite stories, I think, is Marvel Team Up 21. It's Doctor Strange and Spider-Man, and it's one of my all-time favorite stories. I can read it at any time. It's amazing, and it's with the Wanda Watum, and it's just a great adventure.
That's
So
what you're
Gary,
gonna say. Go ahead.
Right. That's all right. So Gary, you talked about your pulp there with Robert E. Howard and whatnot. Outside of Conan, who are two of your favorite pulp characters that you think need to be brought out more to the public?
Doc Savage is going to be the number one character I think should be brought back, but not brought back and put in a modern age. Brought back and put in a 30s or 40s environment film, like a time period.
Like they're doing Dick Tracy now.
Yeah. I mean, these characters are classics in their time periods for a reason. You don't need to bring them out of those time periods. You need to
Just
write
add to
stories
the
of them in
stories.
those days.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, I agree. And
Like he was bigger than life for this.
Right.
A second one. Well, it'd have to be Solomon Kane.
Okay.
Solomon Kane is one of the most underrated characters ever created in fiction, and his stories are just full of depth and character development. And there's a lot of dichotomies going on with Solomon Kane, right? He's a Puritan. He's a devout Catholic. He believes he's on a mission from God to rid the world of any evil he comes across, and anything that is against his Christianity is supposed to be an affront to him. But this is a man who carries a juju staff with him, given to him by a voodoo priest who became his friend in Langa, and he can't deny that there's other spiritual powers out there besides the one he believes in, because the proof is in his hands, and the proof is in how he has to fight with some of his enemies to dispatch them. So it's great because he's a devout Christian, but there's all these other things that always pop up in his adventures that challenge the way he thinks, and that he's not so blind that he dismisses that these things are also real.
It's really cool because I don't think a lot of people know about Solomon Kane today because he doesn't really he doesn't appear that much. Where Doc Savage, we've kind of seen some riffs on him, in different places, like what Warren Ellis did with him with Planetary and stuff. And but Solomon Kane's not somebody who you see really referenced anywhere. So
right, and I'm hoping that Titan Comics is going to change that and give him a resurgence, because they have the license, and he's going to figure into their next arc, Battle of the Black Stone.
okay,
Interesting.
cool.
And shout out to Rod the Weekend, one of the very first men on YouTube to give my stupid little channel a shout out and give me a promotion. Thank you so much, Rod. I've never forgotten this, sir.
Right.
And the Solomon Kane movie is not bad at all. It was great. And I thought there was a couple little issues at the end. Other than that, fantastic film. And that's why I'm excited for the Red Sonja movie, because it's the same director.
When did the Solomon Kane movie come out?
Oh gosh, I think like 2011-ish.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was mid 2000s.
Sounds about right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brother
James
John.
Purefoy was amazing as Solomon Kane.
Assemble the Council of Johns.
Yes, all the Johns. Bring them.
Right? Yes, I agree, Jackson.
What is this obsession with the super powered women that you have, like Spider Woman and Black Cat? Was there?
I really like their stories. It just it was fun. It was creative. Shop asked a question earlier: Black Cat or Catwoman? It's Black Cat all day, every day. It's not even a contest.
Right.
I would throw all the Catwoman's books on a fire to read one bad Catwoman story.
I know that this damn guy likes a squirter, and Felicia looks like a squirter, and I think that's what draws him to this. I think that's what he wants.
I can't really answer Jim's question because I don't know why I like him. I just always have.
He wants to get down there. He wants to be licking and flicking it, and then just a big bushy firework.
Cliff's answering for
Cliff,
you.
Every kitty deserves the purr.
Right? I'm sure.
Nice. Need to clip that one, people. Yeah. I don't disagree. She's one of the better things out of Spider-Man, in my opinion.
And she's interesting because there's a lot of levels to her.
Right.
Besides
just being a skank.
I think she does have a code.
She really isn't. She's had.
I think all our superhero guys are skanks as well, though.
She's had Peter. Who else has she been with?
Matt Murdock is absolutely a skank.
Yeah.
He's the biggest whore in Marvel.
Tony Stark, Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Tony's with everybody.
Yeah, but, Tony's always on penicillin.
Right.
Well, so Doctor Strange, you had that 2-year thing, right? Where Doctor Strange slept with Elektra and Captain Marvel with Carol Danvers.
Damn, Stephen Strange, what you doing, boy?
Yeah,
Strange,
and that was
Strange
a cool costume she got when she went there, and she kind of like stole some knowledge, and then she had like the Captain Marvel Supreme costume, which was great.
Well, you mentioned a lot of cats. Like, what was the greatest pet you've had in your life?
A dog named Tiffany. She was part lab, part German Shepherd. I had her for 17 years before I had to put her down because she was having trouble getting up. Her hips went, which was common for any like a Shepherd mixed breed.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
But her name was Tiffany because when I was young, I used to watch General Hospital with my mom, and there was a character on there named Tiffany. And I think for some reason when I was a little kid, I might have had a crush on her, and I had to name the dog I got Tiffany. So, and that dog followed me everywhere. That dog, just was always there.
That's fantastic.
That's really sweet. Speaking of getting it up, since you're a big fan of Conan, who, in your opinion, is the baddest bitch that Conan ever slept with?
Well, it's always going to be Belit. She was just 100% savage. She had her own code, and even though Conan was her lover and she loved him, if at some point she needed to kill him for her own purposes, she would have.
Wow.
But let's talk about the new character introduced in Titan Comics, who I think is also badass, and that's Brissa.
Okay.
Brissa is amazing. She's a Pict, and Picts in Conan's time are different than Picts in the Thurian age with Kull, where there are much more political agendas in Kull's age, much more society norms, and much more organized, where they're more savages in the woods in Conan's era. So they've kind of went in a little bit opposite direction. But yeah, Brule the Spear Slayer from Kull's Thurian age, and Kull doesn't operate smoothly without Brule. Kull needs an aid. Conan does not. But Brissa, and this is the brilliance of I know Jackson Royford. But this is, I gotta say this though. This is the brilliance of Jim Zub, because you're at Titan Comics, you get all the Robert E. Howard characters except Red Sonja, who has different rights issues. Because Red Sonja, she exists as a creation of Roy Thomas and Ernie Chan and all those guys back then, right? Because she wasn't a barbarian She was in a different century. She had a pistola, she had a rapier, and she was Red Sonja, YA, not JA. But Brissa is so good because you need a strong female character for Conan to play off in his Hyborian age, and he creates this character that not only is tied to Conan's age, is a pick who Conan famously wars at most of the time, but is also leads back and is a descendant of Brule, the Spear Slayer from Kull's time. So he didn't just create a character to create a character. He created a woman that could fight alongside Conan, who didn't have the limitations of Red Sonja and could sleep with Conan as well, which she does, but also be at odds with him, but also have ties to the other ages of Robert E. Howard. So it's a brilliant creation.
Nice.
Jackson.
Listen to Gary speak.
All right, next question, gents.
So the parodies that have been done on Conan, because there are lots of Conan parodies out there. Which ones do you like the most?
Oh, let's see. Well, I mean, since with the sword and sorcery, you already know that I have an affinity for the Starfire from DC Comics. She's not really a Conan parody; she's her own thing. But I don't think that title would have existed without the Conan the Barbarian. But Claw was okay, but I don't think he's the most fleshed out character. I think probably the best parody character that has the most appeal would probably be Arak, Son of Thunder.
Okay.
Also,
what do you think of Gru?
Created by Roy Thomas.
What do you think of Gru?
Gru, I think Gru's his own thing. Gru's great, and but it's not the type of storytelling that really draws me in.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But also, like, I like the things we're getting today too. Like Barbarica is its own thing, and I like that. Some people hate it because of the modern language used in it, but the reason it doesn't bother me with Barbaric is because it takes place in its own universe. So they can set the rules for that universe however they want. There's nothing that's tied to a time period from our age or anything like that. It's its own creation.
Right. And the axe, man. Come on.
Right. Oh, the axe is great.
Yeah, I haven't read too many of those, but the ones I did read, I really enjoyed.
And of course, the one of the best parodies too was in UHF from Weird Al Yankovic with Conan the Librarian.
Yes. That's a classic.
Well, I know we all know you like The Thing. It's
I love The Thing.
One of your favorite movies. They have a new Alien movie coming out. Were you ever into the Aliens? And if so, how would you rate them?
Oh, the Alien movies?
Yeah.
Yes. Tell us about creatures that penetrate the person and burst forth from their body.
I wouldn't know anything about aliens. No. So I love the Alien movies. All right. I am excited for Romulus for two reasons. First being Fede Alvarez, who's an amazing director. I haven't watched anything from Fede Alvarez I haven't enjoyed and thought that he's contributed in it in a way that was his own and just as good as the original. His Evil Dead was amazing, and you can't replace the Sam Raimi Evil Deads, but there is a place for the Fede Alvarez Evil Dead, which is just as good as Sam Raimi's. It's just something different.
Mm-hmm.
And it was amazing, and I still watch it today. But for Aliens, yeah. So I watch The Thing all the time, as you know, but I still watch the original Alien movie once a month.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
The original Alien is number one. It's my favorite. All right, that is it's horror and sci-fi. And just like the first Terminator, where it's horror and sci-fi, I like the horror roots before they go all action.
Gotcha.
So what I'm really excited about with Romulus is the horror aspect, because Fede understands the horror of the aliens, Like when these things show up, you're already supposed to be shitting your pants and ready to go.
Yeah.
You know, it's game over, man. It's
Right. Right.
So obviously, Aliens, the second one would be my other favorite, just because it's a continuation of the Ripley story and the character development.
Right.
3 is the worst Alien movie ever made.
I agree.
Even over Alien versus the Alien versus Predator movies, 3 is the absolute worst Alien movie ever made. Yes, I know David Finch made it. It's poorly scripted, poorly acted, poorly shot, and the worst special effects in any Alien movie out there. Everything about that movie is hot garbage.
Okay.
Tell us how you really
see. That movie,
that movie telling me the alien moment in Spaceballs had better special effects than Aliens 3.
Okay. And when you're watching it and you can see the pasted in alien special effect, you're like, oh, this. I'm like, they didn't even give this. There's no budget in this.
Right.
They had people in someone's basement making the effects, but it was horrible. But Alien Resurrection, I think, gets too much hate. I didn't mind Alien Resurrection. Again, it continues Ripley's storyline. You have Ron Perlman, who is fantastic, and I like anything with Ron Perlman. I'm already going to like it quite a bit because Ron Perlman is just one of those great actors to me.
Right.
But I thought Alien Resurrection got too much hate. I liked it a lot. I thought it was fun and good. I really loved Prometheus. Okay. I thought Prometheus got too much hate. I thought Prometheus was fantastic. I thought the follow-up, Covenant, was horrible. Nobody wanted to follow David's story. Nobody cares about David's story. Yeah. You wanted to follow Rooney Mara's character's story. You don't give a shit about David.
Well, I know, but the thing is, David's story is good setup for the Alien film. You know? But, like, you're right. Maybe he didn't deserve an entire movie for that.
No, it should have continued Rooney Mara's character story, and he still could have did the stuff he did as a side plot.
I agree. But again, I do love me some Michael Fassbender.
Right.
You know.
But I think
like it's just the whole thing.
Right. I think Fede Alvarez is going to bring the franchise back to where it needs to be. And I still like the Alien versus Predator movies. I think those get a little bit too much hate.
Number 2 why? Because they're PG-13. We want bloodshed and we want over the topness.
I like the first one because it gave some history of Weyland-Yutani, which I thought was fun.
That was neat.
And Sine Lathan looked amazing in it. Like every time she was on screen, I was like, she looked incredible.
Listen, I'm the first one to give a movie extra points because I've seen someone on the screen as hot. I understand.
Right.
But you know,
the second one,
I
thought, they killed a kid in the first, in the opening credits of that movie.
I know.
It was PG-13, but it was still pretty a brutal flick.
I know. I'm glad they set the tone, but come on, my expectations are high. Murder, murder, murder. I like Predators. I think Predators gets too much hate.
Yeah, I like Predators a lot too. I agree with you on that one because Predator is another favorite franchise of mine.
Right. Did you watch? Were you able to watch the Prey on?
I did watch Prey. I thought it was a really good movie, but I thought it was overhyped and not as good as everybody said.
Okay, I'll tell you where you're wrong because that movie had a low budget and it is a made for Hulu or made for streaming film. So my bar is down here in the gutter. So I was very impressed, and it's the only Predator movie in my adult life that I actually got my mother to sit through and enjoy. So that alone is going to get praised.
No, don't get me wrong. I like it, but the only thing it added to the Predator franchise was it took it to a different time period. Yeah. It didn't really add anything onto the mythology.
I know, but it executed it fabulously. And it did add to the mythology because the knife is there. So now we know. Now that the legend of the knife begins, and they did it like in a nice. But you know what? This isn't about me and Predator. This is about you, and I'm trying to ask you the filthiest questions possible tonight. So, what is your fondest comic book convention memory where you got laid?
I've never gone to comic book conventions really until this year.
Oh my god!
In other words, that's what he's saying.
Oh,
Right.
and you took your son, so you definitely didn't get laid unless you freaky like that. So like,
No,
so that's just terrible. That's just awful.
How about this? If you were gonna get a comic book tattoo on your lower back, what would it be?
Oh yes, this is good.
That
Oh.
question is so sedate after mine. Jeez,
Well, he couldn't answer yours.
I know.
I don't. A comic
You got to
book
do it.
tattoo?
Some comic book tattoo on your lower back. What's it gonna be?
Yeah, what tramp stamp would you get?
I don't. Well, first of all, I'm not a tattoo guy. I don't have one.
Me
This
neither.
is if
I
you
know.
became a tattoo guy.
Now you have to.
All right. So if I had to, let's say I lost the bet, like
Yeah.
Tyler from Black Comics, who
There
hasn't
it
got
is.
his tattoo yet, and
Correct.
I had to get a tattoo.
Yep. Anything
Um,
comic book related.
comic book related. Oh shit!
You won't be able to see it, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, I really have no idea.
I automatically picture a tramp stamp of Power Girl's boobies on for him. That's what I picture.
There you go.
No, I know. We'll do Xena's chakra as a cock ring.
Oh my lord!
You know what? Good for you. I like that. Approve.
Cliff's like, all right, now we're in the right place.
Approve. You know, and then like every time you drop your pants, you can be like, dun, 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 dun. You
Like,
know?
you need the music when you drop the pants.
Alexa, play my Xena theme music. Dun, 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 dun. And, and you know, and if you got room for it, you can make your penis Conan's sword.
Right? I mean, you
It
know,
could be I assumed it was his.
If Conan could sleep with any woman from any age, from any fiction, he would have to go for Xena.
I was assuming you'd call it his juju stick.
Right?
It's juju stick.
There you go. John's tramp stamp would be a Cyclops visor.
I mean, as long as it's a thruple, I'd need like Wolverine's claws and then I don't know, Jean's
Sure,
mask. Get the thruple.
Right. All right. Next question after Cliff.
Well, I feel like I'm owed one. I could ask you a nice one. All right. Who is your favorite comic book villain?
Oh, let me see. Favorite? I'm going to cheat on this because she's also a hero, but I'm going to say Black Cat.
I knew it.
No, you can't. You can't
Again, I
cheat.
just did. She's also been a villain.
Shame.
But if you want
Like
like
a
a true,
faux
I'm
villain.
going to murder everybody type villain, we'll have to go with I guess we'll have to go with Thulsa Doom.
Interesting.
Because Thulsa Doom will cross any timeline to get what he wants and murder anybody in his way.
So Gary, with the upcoming movies coming up from our good friend over at DC, are you actually looking forward to any of the DC movies coming out?
Absolutely. I am
one?
really looking forward. The one I'm looking forward to the most is Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, which is one of my favorite storylines in the last couple years. I think it's absolutely brilliant from book 1 to book 12. It is a complete masterpiece to me. Taylor Winder. I'm also I really wanted a Ben Affleck standalone Batman movie, so I'm sad we didn't get that because I thought he deserved it. But
We needed Batman versus Deathstroke. We were robbed.
yeah, would have been great. But I'm looking for something to surprise me that's obscure. Right now, it's Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, and then I want a James Gunn character pulled out of obscurity, and where he makes it in the DC universe, and it's fantastic.
We did that with
2 words: Creature Commandos.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Creature Commandos. You could get more obscure than that, but that would only been if he had greenlighted the Starfire movie that I know you wanted, and then that would have truly made your day.
Oh yeah, definitely. But I want to see someone. I want to see someone obscure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
I have so little faith in DC. But what I would enjoy, the roll of the dice I would like to see them take would be with Swamp Thing.
Oh yeah. See, I disagree, Richard, because Ben Affleck. So here's my problem with the actors who play Batman. My favorite's Michael Keaton. Because Michael Keaton could play a good Bruce Wayne and a good Batman. All the other ones suffered of not being able to play both characters convincingly to me. Like I'm on the other side of this, where I think Christian Bale was one of the worst Batmen, and people think I'm crazy for that. I thought
Ben had terrible material, but a solid Batman.
Right, he was in
solid Superman, but terrible material. I mean,
Brandon Routh was a great Superman in a bad Superman movie.
Yes.
Ben Affleck is the only physically imposing Batman we've actually had.
I mean,
like he looked like he was going to kick your ass when he showed up in that costume.
Anyone who can survive being married to Jennifer Lopez for a day, much less months, can kick anyone's ass. I can't be Batman.
And Paul's looking forward to Metamorpho.
I'm married Jennifer Lopez.
Right?
Yeah, Metamorpho for sure.
And I will say, sorry.
And I thought Ben was a good. I disagreed with this, Carlito, respectfully, because I thought he was a good Bruce Wayne too, because he had the presence. He looked the part. Flat, like Christian Bale was really flat for me as Bruce Wayne. Like I didn't care about him as a person as Bruce Wayne.
Right.
And I thought the Batman fight sequences in those movies were just so slow paced. Like you could see he's like telegraphing every bat fight move, and I'm like, that's why Bane broke your back. Again, just like, and I'm gonna say the same thing, Cliff, right? Ben Affleck was a good Batman, but it wasn't written great.
Right.
Just like Brandon Routh was a perfect choice to play Superman, but the script in that movie was horrible. You had him using his X-ray vision to spy on Lois being a super creeper. Which like I'm in the theater watching this. I'm like, really? They chose to have him spying on Lois with X-ray vision?
Yep.
I'm like, that's just a bad choice.
There was a lot of
Ralph was so much better than
and again, look who wrote the script. So
yeah.
we all have the answers now, don't we?
When Ralph got the chance though to revisit Superman in the Crisis,
he didn't want it.
He did a fantastic job, redoing that role, so to speak, in the Crisis stuff. And, I thought him and the other guy who played Superman in the TV series that ran for a couple of seasons, the Superman Lois series, they both did the best Clark Kents I've seen in a long time. And to do a good Superman, you got to do a good Clark Kent. And that's what worries me about the new guy. I don't know about you, Gary, but that's what worries me about the new actors. Can he pull off Clark Kent with the 70s wig thing? So,
Well, hopefully. And the thing with me, when people ask who should he cast, I'm in the camp of any capable actor. You never know who's going to hit it out of the park until you see him perform.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
People are, only this person can play this. Well, you don't know that.
That's my performance rating for the bedroom all the time.
But, you have no idea who's going to knock it out of the park until you give them a shot, right?
There are big surprises in small packages.
But I still think but the Brandon Routh Superman, how do you write a Superman movie where he doesn't even throw a punch?
Because he just bounces the bullets off of his eyeballs.
You give one of the best Superman moments with him bringing the plane down, which was a great Superman moment. Mm-hmm. You have a bullet getting crushed against his eyeball, which is another great moment. But you never actually have him do anything super outside of that, except peep on Lois Lane.
That's pretty super.
He did heat vision. He heat vision debris. I appreciated that. But you're right. And then he threw a giant piece of kryptonite into the sun.
Right. And to Chuck's point here too, right? Everyone always gets their panties in a bundle over casting, right? Nobody wanted Michael Keaton as Batman. Nobody wanted Heath Ledger as the Joker. Nobody, oh, this person will suck. Everyone thinks they know what's best because you only picture one actor in a role you saw him in one time.
Right.
Just like when Robert Pattinson got cast as Batman, I thought that was a great choice. But everyone goes, oh, no, he's going to suck. He's Twilight. He's did more than Twilight. He's been in things where he's actually a really good actor.
Mm-hmm.
But you guys want to, just so you can get yourselves attention, you want to glam on the one thing he did that you don't like and say he's going to suck.
Right.
On the other hand, John Cena is Peacemaker.
Yes.
And will always be Peacemaker. And, there's not, yeah.
Well, thank you, Book with Crazy Lady. We appreciate you leaving us on and listening for sure. And John Cena was another guy. Like when he came on, I'm like, I don't know anything about him. I don't watch wrestling. I'm like, let's see how he does. And that dude is hilarious. And he had a bit part in the End of the World movie with Seth Rogen in them, which was hilarious.
Yeah, I remember.
When I saw him in that part, I'm like, okay. He gets it. He'll just go and do anything that's offered to him and put his all into it and have fun with it.
Yeah.
Because that was just a stupid little small part, but it was hilarious because he bought into it and he put everything into it. When he was like the little gimpy guy holding onto the dude's leg.
Listen, I liked him in those dad movies.
And another one that was good casting that didn't get their due. I can't remember his name right now, but the first guy that was cast as Remy LeBeau, again in a bad movie.
Is that Taylor Kitsch?
Yes.
Yeah.
He should have got his own movie.
Carter. Oh my God, John Carter.
Yeah, John Carter was good too.
I loved him so much. I was devastated. I was like, they're sinking this movie.
I enjoyed it. I don't know why it didn't do better than it did.
Because they tanked the movie. They tanked it.
It wasn't advertised. It was poorly advertised.
It was poorly advertised. Right. And every review I heard was terrible. My friend dragged me to see it for his birthday. I said, when this movie sucks, don't cry to me that you made us come to this. And at the end of the movie, I was like, I was so wrong. This movie was great. We got to see it again. Everyone needs to see this. I'm getting on Twitter right now, right from the theater. Oh my God, see this movie. And
didn't help.
Listened to me. No one helped. Disney, the John Carter Twitter retweeted me when I said, go see this movie. Retweeted me when I said, why is nobody seeing it? It's a masterpiece. Retweeted me when I bought the Blu-ray. Retweeted me when I said this is a damn shame. And then their Twitter account disappeared.
Right.
Right. It was good. See, I'm trying to do that now with a couple horror movies. Like there's a few horror movies out there now people need to see. And Late Night with the Devil is one of them. It's fantastic. And the other one, it's just so much fun. The cast is great. The writing's good. Is Abigail. I'm not even a vampire person.
So good.
And Abigail is a fantastic. I've already watched it 3 times this week. It's so good.
What is that streaming on?
Everything. I bought it for $10. They had a sale on Vudu for $10. I'm like, purchase.
Okay. I think I saw a clip of that on YouTube. It's like she's a child vampire, right, or something?
Yeah, it's based on the story Dracula's daughter.
The performances in that movie are so good.
So good.
Yeah.
Dan Stevens is great as a dick in that movie. He is a complete dick, and he sells it every moment. The main character, the girl who plays Joey, she is fantastic and absolutely gorgeous. Mm. And the other one who stole the part was he's a favorite actor of mine too. And as soon as I go to say his name, I forget it. The big dude.
From what? From what?
Which big dude?
I gotta look him up real quick.
Did you say My Two Dads?
No, Abigail the movie.
Kevin
Durant.
Kevin Durant.
So he's this big muscle guy, but he's a little stupid, and he says some of the funniest lines in a movie, which knows how to put comedy mixed in with serious parts and make it all work.
Right. I'm trying to think or remember the name of the movie that came out last year.
Seeing that Friday, Carlito.
Yeah, I've heard nobody say that's good. I haven't heard anybody on say Long Legs is good. I don't watch a lot of horror.
Long Legs is not terrible. It's worth watching, but it's not like I don't think it's anything that anyone expected, because it's like federal agent discovers satanic mystical plot that connects to their life, and everything gets out of control.
Okay. Yeah.
But the thing is,
Tuesday for the FBI, in other words, that's what you're saying, right?
Yeah. But because this woman's like, there's something strange about these murders, and if I keep tying all this information together, oh my goodness, it starts making satanic symbols, and and then it's like, oh shit, my birthday's in there too, all these. It's like, oh no, why is my birthday in there? Mom, what did you do? I'm just saying, it was pretty good, and I'm probably giving the whole movie away, but.
And Kalima says he likes the Mindhunter meets X-Files vibe.
See, right? There we go.
I loved Mindhunter. Mindhunter on Netflix was fun, just amazing.
The movie's worth one watch, I will say that. It's kind of like when I watched Summer of '84, it's a very, very slow burn. You really wonder if this kid is crazy for suspecting his cop neighbor, who's just a prince of a human. Like, could he really be a serial killer? And then he grabs two of his schoolmates and they bust into this guy's house and they find this kid's freaking body in acid in the basement, and all shit breaks loose. And my mom is like, oh my god, this movie's like just went unhinged. And then the kid and his best friend go to bed at night, right? And you think it's all good. The police are out there, the police are protecting the house, and this mother lover drops from the ceiling. The attic drops down, and he comes out and he goes after those kids, and it's wild. But the thing is, like, that's the whole plot. And then the cop leaves the boy who's suspecting him alive, and he's like, I will come for you one day when think you're happy, when you think you're safe. I will come for you. I will come for your kid. And then he just takes off. But anyhow, Gary, back to you.
Midnight with the Devil, though, everybody should watch.
Yes, it's very good. Gary, Conan has had a number of crossover events with other characters and universes. Which one do you think is the most memorable?
The Conan Wonder Woman series by Gail Simone was really good. The 6 issues.
My heart wanted you to say that, and I'm so glad you did.
that one was really good. And I'm not afraid to say Gail Simone's not right for everything, but that was a great series by her.
She put the love into Conan. She put it in there.
Right, and it just shows that Conan's about he goes and crosses over with DC and he pulls Wonder Woman. Go Conan.
Yeah, right.
Cool. Take that, Superman.
Yeah.
Okay, we all know that Superman could get Wonder Woman. All right, Lois is the love of his life.
Yes, but joking aside, it was a really good series.
Okay. Is there any? I'm going totally in the opposite direction. Is there any indie series that you've read that you would, say, "Oh my gosh, everybody should be reading this"?
Well, I love Noctera. I thought Noctera was great, beginning to end.
Yeah, I agree.
Eve was a great miniseries, which nobody talks enough about. Yeah. Eve was fantastic. I'm trying to think of one. Like we talked about Barbaric and how much fun that is.
Yeah.
There was one a few years ago, and I can't remember it. But it was with an aging female warrior. And I wish I could remember. I have the series around here somewhere, and that was like 4 or 5 issues of really greatness, good storytelling. Right. Where she was pulled back in, and she was old and retired, and had to come and help save the day. But That was really good in the way it dealt with things and the way it dealt with the regrets in her life and why she had to come back and why she had to do things. And I'm really upset I can't remember the name of it because it deserves some attention. It was good.
Right.
But with the indies, I mean, they're like anything else. They're hit or miss with me, right?
Right.
Some are great, some are okay. But I did really, really love Noctera because it had.
Now that could be a movie. I think that would be a
good pacing, and it also had that summer movie feel to it as well.
Right. Yeah, I feel like that could be a great movie.
And I thought the approach was good. I liked the approach. That horror series I thought was good. But I think the best horror series right now in indies is The Silver Coin.
Oh, okay.
The Silver Coin is great. It's the same artist does every issue. It's a different writer every issue.
Oh, okay.
And it's all around this mythology of a coin, right? When someone gets this coin, it drives you insane, and you murder to have it, and it gets in as soon as it screws up your entire life, it's passed on to someone else.
Yeah, I know a few people that really loved that series. Kind of like Ice Cream Man. It's got like an anthology style to it.
Yeah. Silver Coin's fantastic.
Oh, there it is. Taylor saying the same thing.
Yeah, sounds a lot like that old Friday the 13th TV series from the late 80s, early 90s, where they were
that was a fun series.
It was. I am. It's
the Haunted Relic of the Week series. I thought was great.
Yeah,
it was a cool concept.
It was. Well, it's like a lot of those 90s series that were on UHF and other channels, like the War of the Worlds they did with Adrian Paul for a season, and he was on there one season. He ran a couple seasons and stuff like that we've kind of forgotten because they weren't on mainstream television, and so six people watched it, and probably everyone, Cliff probably was not old enough to see some of those, but
what are you talking about?
Well, unless you had much more interesting viewing habits in the 90s than I give you credit for. So
you do. I am 46.
Okay. Well, I was. But take this as a compliment. I did not think you were that old. So
I know because I haven't had children. That is my secret. Have a kid. Lose your youth. No, I saved my youth.
So Chuck, he's got two personas. He's got Cliff and he's got Phil.
Clearly, yes, I can see that. So
I'm sitting here being like, what? I was like, I watch Freddy's Nightmares. I watch Tales of the Dark Side. I was watching the Dark Side at night. I was watching it all.
Tales from the Dark Side is one of my favorite series ever, and it's not kind on the rewind, but I still love it.
It's it does have. I think like season 1 and 2 are pretty solid. When they were really like getting their groove together, and then it just started to kind of go off the rails.
And a great opening theme. Like as soon as you heard it, you knew what you were watching.
Yes. Also, but when I was a kid, as soon as you heard it, you knew it was time to go to bed because you're like, it's midnight. Your ass needs to be asleep. You got school.
You see though, that was the funny part. When I was young, I was the kid that was staying up. I was watching Letterman. I was watching Carson. And my parents like, look, all right, we know you just keep getting up to watch them. You can stay up and watch them, but the rule is you got to be up and ready for school. I kid you not, I was always the first person up.
This explains so much.
Yeah, I would stay up. I would watch Johnny Carson. Then David Letterman was my favorite. I couldn't wait to watch Letterman every night.
Yep. And then I was like, did anyone yell at you during class for falling asleep? Because that was me. I would stay up late, watch whatever I want, wake up, then by like third period science class, it's like, Mr. Primatine, why are you falling asleep? Are you staying up late watching the Honeymooners? By the way, that's not how you say my last name. Let's start there. But God bless.
What you would do today is you'd pound like 3 of those energy drinks during my first period class.
Right.
So by the time you got to your third period science class, you'd be like vibrating.
Yeah. And wired for sound. Yeah. Caffeine
Yeah,
hit.
I do not recommend that for anyone whose family has a history of heart disease. So let's not do that. I want to ask hot seat questions, not send everyone to the grave.
Right. Wait. Before Cliff gets in again, I prepped a little rapid fire for Gary, and I don't know.
All right, let's do it.
I don't know if Cliff,
yeah.
I don't know if Cliff prepped any. If I should just run it. Yeah.
Let's run it, Gary. I mean,
right,
oh my God!
If you want to jump in, Cliff,
now.
at any point, you cut in here.
Run it over him.
Tidy whities, boxers, or boxer briefs?
Commando.
There it is.
This man wrote me.
Bikinis or one pieces?
Bikini.
Have you ever worn a Speedo?
No.
Me neither. I've never in my life. Landing strip, full bush, shaved. What are we going for here? What's the fave? I mean, I grew up in the landing strip era, so that's me.
Yeah. Depends on the person.
You're equal opportunity, is what you're saying.
Yeah. As long as you got it clean, I'm good.
180 or 181?
It's 180.
There it is. See, people, truth. What's worse, Spider-Man 3 or Venom 2?
Oh, Venom 2.
Oh yeah.
Not the Venom movies are horrible.
Let me piggyback.
We had a
off
great
that one real
Sandman
quick.
arc in Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, go ahead, Chuck.
John. Let me add one more to that. Okay, may I?
Yeah.
Superman 4. How does it rate with those?
Well, the Quest for Peace.
That's right, the Quest for Peace. Yes.
You still have Christopher Reeve, so it'll still rate higher than those.
Okay. I'd ask.
No, it's great. One night only. You go on Red Sonja or Xena?
Ooh, this is good. Think about this one for a second. This is good.
Nah,
You're looking for the tattoo.
I'm gonna go by who played them, right? So you had Bridget Nielsen or Lucy Lawless, and in that competition, it's a hands down Lucy Lawless all day long.
Yeah, I was gonna say you'd be
Wow.
mental if you wasn't.
Yo, I've met Lucy Lawless. She is still pretty. Okay,
It is.
Oh,
still
she's gorgeous. And
Yeah.
then she can give you the little
And she
battle
can
cry.
sing,
at
by
the
the
end.
way. She can sing.
Dude, when she was in Spartacus, I was just like, oh my God,
Yeah.
we're going to
Yeah,
see
all
Xena
of
naked.
her was in Spartacus.
Finally, we're going to see Xena naked.
So good.
And the thing is, she was even better shaped for Spartacus. I couldn't believe it. I'm like,
Yeah.
girl, what have you been doing?
Yeah.
Did you watch Ash versus the Evil Dead where she played
Of course I
Ruby?
did. I love
She was
her.
amazing as Ruby.
Oh, I'd like to see that
So
now.
good. So
Oh,
good.
dude, she is so badass as Ruby.
She's
a
badass,
villain in that.
period.
She's great.
Uh,
It's only 3 seasons, John, and if you haven't given it a chance,
I
you
have
missed
not.
it.
No. Yeah, I've
And
never.
it's a really fun watch.
It's
If you
top
like Evil
level
Dead.
Evil Dead. Bruce
I like Bruce
Campbell-
Campbell. Yeah, I mean Bruce Campbell's. I've got to get around to it at some point.
And I went into watching it, John, apprehensive, like, oh, what's this Pablo and Kelly character? That and this is gonna be so stupid. By the end of the first episode, I'm like, oh, Pablo and Kelly are so cool. They fit in so well in that universe, and Kelly is such a badass. Pablo is hilarious, and in true Evil Dead fashion, all these actors are just covered in gore every episode, and
It's
it's
kind of a requirement.
over the top and hilarious.
In your heart of hearts, which is Carol Danvers' true alternate identity? Who is Carol Danvers? Captain Marvel, Ms. Marvel, Binary? Who is Carol Danvers?
Miss Marvel with the lightning bolt suit.
There you
Oh, yeah.
go.
So
Sorry, go ahead.
no, I was just saying. So Gary, in the 70s, TV, if you had to watch one superhero TV show, would it be Batman, George Reeves' Superman, The Incredible Hulk, or Wonder Woman, or Spider-Man?
Dun, 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 dun. You're a Wonder Woman.
All right,
There it
there you
is.
go. All right.
Linda Carter.
Come on, Linda Carter tops all of them.
Yes, facts. Is She-Hulk an
I'm sure they
Avenger
would
or an FF member?
FF.
Nice. I like that
I
concept.
know she's
That
more
FF
of an
costume.
Avenger member than an FF, but I liked her on the FF more than I like because they always treat her like a bit character on the Avengers, and
I agree.
she got treated more respectfully on the FF.
I'd like to follow up on that. Is Carol Danvers, an Avenger or an X-Man?
She's better standalone, but to me, she's an Avenger. If you had to pick between the two.
Yeah.
If you had to vote for one of these gentlemen for president, Lex Luthor or Doctor Doom?
Dr. Doom.
I mean, Luthor's been a president. Doom is just a world leader, I guess you could argue.
Yeah, he wouldn't want to be. None of them would want. I don't even know why Luthor wanted to be president, for that matter.
Power. That's why everybody does it.
Just to mess with
Also,
Superman's
as
head.
usual, they ramped us up into a story and dropped the ball. All
Right.
we got out of it is Luthor enjoyed being president because it fucked with Superman's head. That was it. And then he went crazy injecting himself with the kryptonite serum. And then we got launched into Infinite Crisis. And then in Infinite Crisis, we find out that Lex Alexander Luthor, replaced him at one point and was orchestrating all this stuff. So it kind of just went completely out the window.
I know I asked a good question when I get Cliff fired up. I love it.
Right.
Yeah.
I know. Again, this is Gary's night, and I'm over here just being putz.
You're crushing it.
Oh, thank you. Carol Danvers. Who do you think is her greatest adversary? And don't say Rogue.
Oh, I wasn't going to say her greatest adversary.
Yes.
If she has one.
Her greatest adversary, I would say, is the legacy of the original Captain Marvel, because she's always fighting against it, even though she's proven herself to be her own capable hero.
Can I say Iron Man?
I was going to say Marcus, but yeah.
I was going to say Carol and Tony are the worst members of AA I've ever seen in my life. It's like, I warned you that the Kree were coming, but you warned me as a drunk. How dare you? You have no right to judge me. You're a drunk too.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
So
Thundar
we have
the
a question in the
Barbarian.
comments here from Taylor Winder. It's great.
Thundar the
rapid
Barbarian
fire.
or Battle of the Planets?
Thundar all day.
Yeah.
That was fast, folks.
Yeah, that's pretty easy.
Alex Soth is on.
Who does Wolverine need more? Jean or Scott?
At least you didn't say Jubilee, thank goodness.
No, that's his father.
He doesn't need Gene. He wants Gene.
Yeah.
Scott, he can learn from.
I mean, how often does he need Scott to keep him in line? Even if just like as a team member. But obviously, Cliff and I know there's more to that story.
Connected on Krakoa.
Oh,
There are
but
3 bedrooms connected on Krakoa.
Cliff, to give you another answer, though, I would say the scariest, the biggest villain for Carol, if it's not her legacy, it's the Brood.
Ooh,
Right.
good one.
Yeah, that's everybody.
And that was actually a decent crossover that they did in the past year.
It was.
That was I was expecting trash, and it was actually really well done. Carol's like, I need my ex-buddies. Are you coming with me? It's like, oh, we're killing brutes? Okay, not the friendly ones, right? Not the little mutant one, because we're friends with that one. Okay, we're good? All right, we're killing bad brute. Let's go, everybody.
And again, you gave her true hero moments, and then you got the new binary out of that arc, which was amazing.
All right, last one for me is what are the 3 best pizza toppings?
Pepperoni, the spicy cut pepperoni.
Yeah. Okay.
Spicy sausage, and extra cheese.
Oh, he's a meat lovers guy. All right. I like it.
Mm.
Yeah, it was gonna be
guy,
burger or extra cheese. But...
I knew you
Nothing
were
healthy there. You noticed that?
Huh?
Nothing healthy. There we go.
Well, it's pizza. You're not eating pizza for healthy.
Right. If you're gonna sin hard.
He didn't ask me what my favorite yogurt mix-in was. He asked me what my favorite pizza toppings were.
I am a pizza whore. I do love to get I do love a Supreme or a house pizza. And so house pizzas can be whatever the house decides, right? But usually the house pizza is the one with black olives, onions, peppers, pepperoni, meatballs, sausage, it just
I
the
like
works.
this. Yep.
And I love that because I'm like, I'm having good, healthy stuff and bad stuff at the same time.
And bacon's a good pizza topping too.
What's that?
Bacon.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
of course.
Good on everything.
I mean, meat lovers all day, but you better go for a walk after that one. You know?
Well, there you go, Gary. I wanted to run you through a little gauntlet at least.
Oh no, those are fun. I like the little gauntlet thing.
Right.
I wanted to run through with Gary, but this wasn't exactly how I planned it. Gary, what do you think are the best? Okay, Conan combines fantasy, adventure, and mythology. What do you think are the most standout elements of Conan?
Well, you miss something else it combines when it's done right, and that's horror.
And look, even a little bit of a detective story too, like The Tower. I get it. Conan can be everything, but my point is, I'll throw it out there. What do you say?
So the best Conan stories incorporate what makes a character the character, right? Conan is smart, and people that don't understand Conan write him stupid. All right, and I think I blame the '80s movies for that a lot, where they didn't really make him a big thinker in them. But when Conan enters a bar, he already knows the whole setup. He's already assessed everybody in there. But he's usually there's always the supernatural element is good, and it's usually something supernatural and horrific mixed together. A good creature, like one of the best stories, is this ape that this wizard had, and he underestimated him. The ape was intelligent. It murdered him, took over the house, and Conan and was hired to kill this guy. Gets in there. Another guy was hired to kill the guy. They're all in the house together, and they all got to team up with the guy that hired them both to survive this ape and the traps he set up. And there's all these, but when they tie in the supernatural, when they tie in, Conan thinking his way through things, there's always the Sumerian rage moment, the brute where Conan's strength is going to help him out. But Conan always assesses situations. So people that write him well, like Jim Zub, like Roy Thomas, they understand that Conan is a character that's operating on many levels at a time. And they also understand what Conan's weaknesses are. And that's too much drink, gambling, and women. Those are his three weaknesses. And that's where all his troubles lead to. Most of his adventures happen because he ends up getting tied in with some woman and he's helping her, or she ends up betraying him in the end. And not that Roy Thomas.
Not that Roy Thomas.
But you have to have a combination of all of them to have a perfect Conan story. Because one of the biggest things is just his will to survive too. Conan just won't quit. He will not stop. He will do everything. If he's faced with insurmountable odds, his idea is, well, I'm going to take as many of you with me as I can, and I'm not going to stop until I've bled out.
I just love a man who won't stop. And I feel like Conan can deliver.
Until he makes you bleed out, Cliff.
Listen, as long as he knows how to play nurse, we're all right.
There you go. All right. Any other questions, gents?
I think
we're good.
Yeah, I think we reached the hour mark, and
all right, good. We'll wrap it up. Cliff, any last questions from you?
I don't know. I feel like I went so easy on you. Do you guys think I went too easy on him?
I don't know. No. How does that seat, Gary?
Nothing bothers me, so I don't ever feel the heat, John.
I don't know. I guess I'll be nice.
All right. Well, we'll go around the table here. We'll see what everyone's got coming up. First, we'll start with Jim, as always, on Thursdays. Jim, what's coming up for you, buddy?
I'm hoping to get in another Can You Dig It comic review. I have the comic right here. I'm going to read and do a quick review of. And I'm trying to make that like a regular, just a Saturday 5-minute, boom, here's the book. I'm trying to be a semi-consistent with that. Since it's been so bloody hot to go out and dig. So that part is not happening right now lately.
I like how you got all British here. It's been so bloody hot. I couldn't possibly go digging after afternoon tea.
That's right.
So, John, what's coming up for you?
I just had a couple of streams in the last week doing some Legos. So people can check out. I built the Batman '89 Batmobile just the other day. Came out great. This Saturday, I'll be getting together with the fam probably again to talk comics and Legos. And then I've been breaking down the original Avengers and Justice League of America issues with my man Magic Lasso. And we're going to do issue 3 of each of those on his channel coming up in a couple of weeks on the 31st.
Nice. Ryan, a good dude.
Yes.
All right. Chuck, what's coming up for you, sir?
Nothing much. I'll be back here with you next week. And, I will be appearing on Joe's channel occasionally with Anachronic Comics. And really, that's about it. So it's been a busy summer. So
right. And then what is it? So next week for me, we'll get to Cliff in a second. Next week for me, we have C Bizzle on the 1011.
Yay!
And then I'm going to be on Izzy's channel with Jim here doing a comic battle next Wednesday night.
Yay!
And then Thursday we have Ray Jr. coming back, the guy who came on from Ray Jr.'s Fitness or Franklin's Fitness or whatever. That one. A really nice guy who I met through X11 Bravo. He's coming on to do his 1011. Cliff, I know you got like a whole book of stuff coming up, so that's why I saved you for last because I know you got to go for a bit.
It's not a big book. Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern time. You can join me for Comics and Coffee with Cliff. I've had on John. I've had on Gary. Maybe soon I'll have on Trigger Jim or Chuck. But this week it's going to be Mike, Super Slabs Comics. Please go check him out. Give him a sub. Really nice guy. We're going to talk comics. We're going to have his 5 picks. We're going to play Rate It or Hate It. I'm going to introduce a new segment for myself. It's going to be a gay old time. That's right, I said it. Sundays in the Council of Comics, 5 p.m. Eastern, we do movie reviews. We're doing the final Hunger Games film this week. Mockingjay Part 2, whatever the hell it is. I mean, the movie lost me after Part 1. I mean, I'm just trucking through the series, people. I mean, like, that's it. And then, there's still some good performances, but Lord have mercy on the story. And then Monday nights, we do New Keys and Hot Comics at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And, of course, join us because we've got the council and our newest member, C Bizzle, so yay. And then Wednesday nights, we do New Comic Book Day live at 8 p.m. Eastern. And I guess you can find me in other places that I can't think of right now at this moment. So that's fun, too. I look forward to it because I love participating in this community. But check me out 10 a.m. Eastern time, Saturdays.
Right. And then your new interview show, Questions from the Bathhouse, right?
No, that's for 2025.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not sure if it's questions. I'm not sure if it's going to be Questions from the Bathhouse or if it's going to be, what was the one I was talking about the other night? I can't remember. I think one of them is going to be Cliff on Cox. I'm not sure, but we're going to work on that.
Oh,
Lord.
Good one. Yeah, up me on that one.
Sign me up.
You will with your Xena bangle.
Right. All right. So
and John will be there with his Prince Edward. It's going to be great.
I'm in.
But I do want to thank you guys. It was fun being on the other side of it tonight. So thank you, Jim, John, Cliff, and Chuck. I appreciate you guys coming on to ask me some fun questions.
And I love switching sides.
There you go. But it was a lot of fun. Thank you guys. It's not often I'm in the hot seat or on the other side of a show. So thank you for giving me that opportunity. Certainly appreciate it. Can't wait till we think of some stupid thing to do together again.
With less homework than last time.
Where's the fun in that?
I don't know, but you figure it out. That's your assignment. Your assignment is come up with something with less homework.
I love it.
Right. So I'm on all the time with Jim and Chuck, but I love doing shows with John and Cliff. So I just keep coming up with reasons to do shows with these guys because they're fun. They're another fun group of guys for me to hang out with. These two are awesome. They're some of my favorite people on YouTube. All these guys you see here on the panel. So any reason to hang out with your friends, you just grab it.
There you go.
Facts.
I love these guys too, and Gary.
And also, thank you to everyone in the chat. We certainly appreciate you guys coming on here. Yeah, Jackson, Cliff is on more than me. I'm only on 24/6. He's on 24/7. But as we like to end these things, thank you all so much. And until next time, keep it casual.